Good morning, Emerson. My name is Leo Joke with the Senior Youth Group, and I'm here to bring you a quote from Walt Whitman to start our service. Some of the language might seem a little bit outdated, but the message remains the same. This is what you shall do. Love the earth and sun and the animals. Despise riches. Give alms to everyone that asks. Stand up for the stupid and crazy. Devote your income and labor to others. Hate tyrants. Argue not concerning God. Have patience and indulgence toward the people. Re-examine all you have been told at school or church or in any book. Dismiss whatever insults your own soul, and your very flesh will be a great poem.
Good morning. My name is Julian Tice, and I'm a member of the senior youth class here at Emerson. Each Sunday, we pause to light a candle of acknowledgement and remembrance for the Cherokee and Muskogee nations of people. These are the people who lived in this land before us, and we acknowledge their continual spiritual presence here. May this candle humbly remind us of our interconnection and the impact of our collective actions. May there be healing in all nations of people. Each Sunday, we also light our chalice. Its light is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism and a reminder of our commitment to be a beacon of love and hope in the world.
Our chalice lighting words for today are by Leonard Nimoy. Whatever we are, we belong together. Whoever we are, we will find each other. Wherever we are forever one.
Now, in the spirit of the beloved community, let's greet and welcome each other to worship as we share our congregational affirmation. We need not think alike to love alike. Those in the sanctuary, feel free to move around to offer a greeting to others from a distance. For those online, please use the chat to introduce yourself or unmute to say hello. Now, please stand if you are able to join in singing hymn number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. We will sing the hymn twice.
Good morning. My name is Adrian Tice, and I am a member of Emerson's senior youth class. This is the time in our service that we pause to reflect on and share the joys, sorrows, and concerns of our life. I invite you to use this moment of pause to take a deep breath. Notice what is on your heart today. Are there joys enlivening your spirit? Perhaps there are sorrows or concerns you carry with you today. Allow this to be a time to give them space, to be held with gentleness and compassion. Take another deep breath, in and out, as Lawrence lights our candles of care. Allow yourself to receive these joys from around our community. A joy from the Kleins. Our dear Mike Klein's birthday was this past week. So many wonderful memories. And of course, we ate pie, because it was Pie Day. And with an open heart, hold these sorrows or concerns of others. A sorrow from Elizabeth Thomas. Friend Ede Wright, dealing with heart failure. He needs a heart transplant. May it come in time. Allowing your heart to open even more, please. Feel free to say out loud the name of anyone who you are holding closely in your heart this morning. Let us send our heartfelt, caring intentions to all beings everywhere by offering the Buddhist prayer of loving kindness. Please repeat the words after me. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from harm and suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. May we be at peace. Blessed be.
All right, I have a story for all ages, so if the young and the young at heart could please come forward. Our story this morning is called The Circles All Around Us by Brad Montague. We begin by drawing a circle on the ground along each shoe. A safe little place for just one person. Nobody in this circle but you. You could keep that circle closed to everyone but yourself, but that would be like a library with just one book on the shelf. So let's draw a bigger circle for you and your family to share. Now you see what all can happen in a circle full of care. It becomes a happier circle as more loved ones come to stay. This could be like Uncle Hank and his awesome dog Barkley, or maybe you have a new cousin, or Granny Dot and Grandpa Bit, or Great Granny and all of her cats. And wouldn't it be even better if all your friends could come and play? So you stretch and draw your circle even bigger than it's been, and let a few more people know they're welcome to come in. In the circles all around us, everywhere that we all go, there's a difference we can make and a love we can all show. Yet, there are still so many outside the circle who are different in all they do, though it feels slightly uncomfortable. We draw a bigger circle for them too. It doesn't mean the circle is easy. It can get harder the more we share. Some people say things like, I only like singing, or I only like sports. I only wear dresses, and I like old comfy shorts. I'm team cake, or I'm team pie. I'm really outgoing, or I'm quiet and shy. But wonderful things can happen when love is known and felt everywhere. As time passes, our eyes open. We see others we really care for. And that's when we ask ourselves, well, what's this circle really there for? So let us create bigger circles all around us for the rest of our days. Let our caring ripple out in a million little ways. In the circles all around us, everywhere we all go, there's a difference we can make and a love we can all show. As our circles grow and grow, and we watch them wonder-eyed, remember the first circle started with just the love we hold inside. All right, so what are some examples you can think of the people that are in your circle? Gregor. Ooh, Gregor says that his pets are in his circle. Great example. What about you? All right, your friends at Emerson and at school. Very good. Extended family. That's good too. What about you? You're in your circle. Yes, that's good. It would be hard to not be in your own circle. All right, anybody else? We good? Oh, okay. What is something that you guys share with the people that's in your circle? Go ahead. Love, perfect. What about you? Art, that's a good one. Peace, I like that. Kindness and sharing. These are great examples. Caring, yes, I agree. All right. Well, so this week I want everyone to go out, and for all the people that they meet, I want you to think about ways that you can bring them into your circle, even if it's difficult. All right. So, awesome. Okay. All right. All right. Or stand up for the song of dedication. The words are printed in your order of service.
Hi, I'm Anya, and I'd like to invite you to join in during our time of meditation. Take a moment to find a comfortable seated position with your feet on the floor, your spine straight yet relaxed, with your hands resting by your side or on your lap. Whenever you're ready, allow your eyes to close. Now take a moment to scan the body for balanced energy. Scan the body for balanced attentiveness and tranquility. Start with the head and move downward, continuing to the rest and the breath, and allow the body to just settle into its own comfortable rhythm. Now bring attention to the clothes and the shoes and accessories you're wearing today. Consider how many people have touched these items, how many hands grew and harvested the materials, transported, refined, and sold each piece. Bring your attention to the building you're in right now. Consider the bodies that labored to create this space. Think of all the people who have given us their time, their resources, energy, and love. Think of all the people whose work we need in order to do our own work. The partners, co-workers, maintenance workers, food workers, repair technicians, city workers. Let all of these people who impacted our lives sit with us for a moment. Let's feel how intertwined we are. Acknowledge how interdependent we are. How much we need others. Feeling part of something greater can bring great joy and celebration. We can feel less alone when we recognize the lives that are constantly touching ours. Consider how many lives you touched today. By your presence, your gifts, your needs. We are the center of our own web of networks, and we are part of many others too. Take a moment to bring real faces into consciousness, names if possible. Recognize not just the vague groups or positions, but the real people that make up our interdependent lives. Allow your attention to rest on each face with warmth and gratitude. Now gently release the images and faces. Bring your attention back to the room. Take one deep breath in, and as you exhale, allow your eyes to open and bring your attention back to the room. Namaste.
Natalie and I will be playing Blue Boat Home. We're each going to play a verse separately, and then we'll play the third verse in unison.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Davis. Today's service is about cultivating relationships, both existing and new ones. But sometimes we have something standing in the way. Sometimes we feel depressed or angry or jealous. However, we can improve these feelings by hitting a reset button. Like in this story for all ages, with a little help from someone, the father of the family hit the reset button, and we can see how his relationships improved. The story is It Could Be Worse. It's a Jewish folktale from Poland. A long time ago, there was a father that lived happily in a small, quiet house in Poland. One day, they learned that the grandparents were coming to live with them. The child was very excited about this, and so were the parents. But the parents worried because their house was very small. They knew that when the grandparents arrived, the house would become crowded and much noisier. The farmer went to ask the rabbi what to do. The rabbi says, "Let them come." So the grandparents move in. They have a lot of furniture which goes in the living room where they sleep and in some other areas too. It is crowded and noisy in the house. So the farmer goes back to the rabbi. "I did what you said, Rabbi. Now my in-laws are here, and it really is crowded in the house." The rabbi thinks for a moment. Then he asks, "Do you have any chickens?" "Of course I have chickens," says the farmer. "Bring them into the house," says the rabbi. The farmer is confused, but he knows the rabbi is very wise. So he goes home and brings all the chickens to live inside the house with the family. But it is no less crowded and noisy. In fact, it is worse, with the clucking and pecking and flapping of wings. The farmer goes back to the rabbi. "I did what you said, Rabbi. Now with my in-laws and the chickens too, it really is crowded in the house." The rabbi thinks for a moment. Then he asks, "Do you have any goats?" "Of course I have goats," says the farmer. "Bring them into the house," says the rabbi. The farmer is confused, but he knows the rabbi is very wise. He brings the goats from the barn to live inside the house. It is no less crowded and noisy. In fact, it is much worse, with the chickens clucking and flapping their wings and the goats bawing and butting their heads against the walls and each other. The next day, the farmer goes back to the rabbi. "I did what you said, Rabbi. Now my in-laws have no place to sleep because the chickens have taken their bed. The goats are sticking their heads into everything and making a lot of noise." The rabbi thinks. He looks very puzzled. Then he says, "Aha! You must have some sheep." "Of course I have sheep," says the farmer. "Bring them into the house," says the rabbi. The farmer knows the rabbi is very wise, so he brings the sheep inside. It is no less crowded and noisy. In fact, it is much, much worse. The chickens are clucking and flapping their wings. The goats are bawing and butting their heads. The sheep are bawing too, and one sat on the farmer's eyeglasses and broke them. The house is loud and crazy and is starting to smell like a barn. Completely exasperated, the farmer goes back to the rabbi. "Rabbi," he says, "I have followed your advice. I have done everything you said. Now my in-laws have no place to sleep because the chickens are laying eggs in their bed. The goats are bawing and butting their heads, and the sheep are breaking things. The house smells like a barn." The rabbi frowned. He then closed his eyes and thought for a long time. Finally, he said, "This is what you do. Take the sheep back to the barn, take the goats back to the barn, take the chickens back to their coop." The farmer ran home and did exactly as the rabbi had told him. As he took the animals out of the house, his child and wife and the in-laws began to tidy up the rooms. By the time the last chicken was settled in her coop, the house looked quite nice. and it was quiet. All the family agreed that their home was the most spacious, peaceful, and comfortable home anywhere. And that's it. That's the end.
Thank you, Jonathan. That story does a beautiful job of illustrating the benefits that a perspective shift can have on our lives. My name is Irene Scow, and today I want to explore how we can change our perspective when it comes to developing human relationships. Human interaction is driven by the idea of interconnectedness. We are drawn to people who we believe have had similar experiences to us because it is assumed that they understand us and will treat us respectfully. Knowing that this is our natural inclination, are there other ways for us to expand our community? We are social creatures by nature because humans are stronger and better together. This was evident in the founding of the United States, when it was quickly determined that allowing each state to govern separately with individual currencies and trade policies was problematic. The Articles of Confederation gave way to the Constitution, and the country was, for the first time, truly united. Unity and interconnection are also a fundamental part of Unitarian Universalist beliefs. Our second principle states justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. This principle emphasizes that compassion extends beyond one-on-one interactions, and that we have the power to positively influence the community. The seventh principle is related to this idea and says, respect for the interconnected web of all existence. To me, this principle acknowledges the connection all living things share and encourages us to widen our circles. Continuing to widen our social circles has many benefits. It allows us to leave more of an impact in the world. It also allows us to encounter a more diverse range of perspectives. I am taking U.S. government this semester, and what I love most about the class is how much I've learned not just from the teacher, but from other students. We frequently have class discussions about political topics such as religious freedom, privacy rights, and capital punishment. I am very fortunate to be a part of an engaged and respectful class with a wide range of beliefs. I have gotten to hear standpoints that I don't agree with often, and early into the semester, I focused heavily on trying to articulate my own viewpoints the most eloquently and to sway my peers. While I think speaking your beliefs is important, I think it is equally important to allow others and encourage others to speak their beliefs as well. And the more that I have been open and willing to really listen to my peers, the more I have become receptive and interested in hearing opinions that differ from my own. I believe that this is one of the most important aspects of human interaction because challenging existing ideas is how innovation occurs. So how do we accomplish this? I found that it was much easier for me to listen to ideas I didn't agree with if the person speaking those ideas was someone I was good friends with. I think this is because hearing beliefs that challenge our own feels a lot less like an attack and a lot more well-informed if we already trust the person and know we share similarities with them in other ways. I also found that if I went into the conversation prepared to listen and learn, rather than prepared to win the argument, I ended up leaving the discussion feeling a lot happier. And this is because there are no winners in arguments. If both parties go into the conversation only interested in proving their own beliefs, no progress can be made. Like many things in life, conversations must be a compromise, a dance, if you will. How do we turn conversations into a dance? And how do we possibly avoid getting defensive and closing ourselves to beliefs we disagree with if we are talking to someone we are not close with and have not built up trust with? I think it's all about perspective. In German class, we learned about reflexive verbs. These are verbs whose subject and direct object are the same. One that I found interesting was offense. In German, someone does not offend you. You take offense to what they say. My teacher explained that our reaction to someone's words is our choice. This was not something I particularly agreed with at the time. I did not think we have much control over how something makes us feel. However, if we did, this level of emotional control would have lots of benefits in our lives. So I started experimenting with how I reacted to what people said to me. I tried focusing on acting intentionally. I realized that I had a lot more control when I started assuming people had the best of intentions when they interacted with me. I also realized that assuming someone has the best of intentions requires you to delve into what is causing them to act the way they are. That when I am telling a friend about my day and they appear to not be actively engaged in what I am saying, it is not because they do not care about me, but rather because they are more focused on the stressful parts of their own lives. And it's a funny thing, because this act of understanding their perspective leads to a sense of likeness that is the basis of interconnection. I think too often we categorize people based on a singular facet of themselves, their age, their gender, their political beliefs. This categorization is a natural part of the human experience. It allows us to organize the information we collect and better understand our world. However, we have to be careful not to let this categorization lead to negative assumptions, particularly ones that might prevent us from meeting people and forming meaningful connections. Instead, we should challenge ourselves to reach out to people we believe are very different from ourselves. And we should go into these interactions assuming we will find connection and commonality, because we are all more alike than we are different, and often the only thing stopping us from new possibilities is ourselves. Thank you.
Emerson is a place with many amazing connections. My connection to Emerson began 7 years ago when I was playing soccer for the YMCA. There I met Leo Joke, and it turns out our parents went to university together. Our parents rekindled their friendship as Leo and I built ours. Eventually, they invited us over for dinner, and we learned all about Emerson, later attending a service and becoming members ourselves. We meet new people all the time, in many different ways. We may not be aware of all the lives we reach and add to our web. Emerson is a welcoming place for all faiths. I have met many different people that I would have never known had it not been for Emerson. It has really taught me how to open up myself to listening to those around me over a nice cup of coffee. The connections we have with each other deepened with each sermon and each church activity. Emerson's entire community opened my eyes to how others invest their time and efforts in creating connections, like listening circles or Waldo's Coffee House. We all come to learn and enjoy life together at these various events. Other times I have discussed with others, and this has helped me understand their values, aspirations, and sometimes their life lessons. Like always loving your family. Life is not long enough to hold on to bitter feelings. Of course, everyone is different, but that is a life lesson that I will take to heart. The Emerson service is also a big part of interconnection. Each service and each sermon molded my perspective and shaped my understanding of the world around me. But to me, the best part of the service is coffee hour, where I get to learn about other people's thoughts and where I can share my own. The coffee hour helps me maintain these amazing relationships with so many different people. Emerson has truly taught me to be compassionate to all people. Throughout my time at Emerson, people have helped me accept and understand people's values even if they don't align with mine. Personally, I don't recall talking about anything controversial, but I certainly hear those conversations. But being able to listen well is a key part to any long-lasting friendship. I learn from others' mistakes and achievements so that I can improve myself and spread my knowledge to others, and maybe add some pizzazz to my conversations. For example, I still remember the conversations about the different animal kingdoms and the passionate discussion of single-celled organisms during one Waldo's Coffee House. Emerson has truly taught me what compassionate communication is. Because I feel like I was heard while at Emerson, because their friendly communication helps everyone feel included immediately. Making sure people are happy and listening to them is very important to build and keep friendships. That's why Emerson continues to grow, because it fosters a healthy and strong place to build friendships. I became more involved in the world around me because of Emerson. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought to help the community. I didn't have the slightest idea on how to help. Emerson gave me opportunities to help and explore different communities. I am grateful for the mentors that took the time and effort to plan the outings in order to broaden my perspective on different faiths and cultures. Our religious education group went to extravagantly large places and very small and secluded places, each with their own unique atmospheres. It was truly an eye-opening experience. The many programs at Emerson, like listening circles and Waldo's Coffee Houses and religious education, help all of us find what we are passionate about and help us connect to other enthusiastic people. Like efforts to educate about climate change at Emerson have helped me take a stance and to spread a very important message, thus even making more connections. Because at school, I took a class about the environment so I could relate many topics back to Emerson. At Emerson, religious education has given me many amazing connections to different students. RE has given me a comfortable space to hear the thoughts of my teenage peer friends. May it be their opinions on world affairs or how good their mother's cooking was. I was always happy to connect with them. They were always welcoming and exciting to be with. We can talk about anything and they will always be happy to build our relations. Our circles start off small, but I can guarantee that eventually they grow ginormous. Even though we may not see the string connecting us all or how big or small the circle is, take a moment and look around and realize that we are together, whether it be through a computer screen or, if you're daring enough, face to face. The world is so big and vast that it's sometimes hard to realize the invisible string connecting us all. Emerson has given me a big and more fulfilling circle. You never know when a new friend will pop out of nowhere, but always be sure to check up on others because you never know when someone might need someone. Now please open your gray books to page 131 so we can stand in body or in spirit to sing Love Will Guide Us.
it is time to share the work. One way we seek to live ethical lives is by partnering with other organizations who work to bring love, kindness, and justice to the world. We encourage our members and friends to support their work financially as we share our weekly collection and also by engaging in direct action. Freedom University is an award-winning school for undocumented students banned from equal access to higher education in Georgia. Freedom University provides tuition-free college preparation classes, college and scholarship application assistance, mental health and legal support, and social movement leadership development for undocumented students. As a result of their collective work, over the last 4 academic years, 50% of their students have earned full scholarships to college. A link to ways to give is posted in the chat. For those in the sanctuary, as the basket is passed, please feel free to offer a donation or take a card which describes the many ways to give, and enjoy a lollipop just for fun. All donations, unless otherwise specified, are shared equally.
Good morning, Emerson. I'm Theodore Thomas, and I'm a 9th grader at an Emerson Senior High youth group. It is my honor to share today's stewardship moment with you. When my family moved down to Georgia from Boston 4 years ago, our lives definitely changed. We were close to my brother Maddock and got to meet with him more often. We found a great house nearby with a creek in the backyard, a welcoming and high-performing swim team, good schools, a scout troop, neighbors, and most importantly, we found Emerson. Emerson became our new UU Faith home. It provides many valuable services to the community, and those cannot continue without your support. Emerson provides a place of listening, as we have reviewed throughout this service, a place to talk and be heard, and know that for a fact that you are being listened to, without a care to your belief, your gender, how you look, or where you come from. You come as you are. That is important in this day of age, when you come and you look out into the world and you can be criticized for almost anything, but you come here and you are safe and you are listened to. That is a beautiful thing. And your continued giving and stewardship to the congregation and to our lovely support staff and to this building keeps it going. And we want to continue that as far into the future as we can. So please, give freely on this day. This month is Emerson UU's annual stewardship drive. Stewardship draws together the many threads in our independent web of existence. The earth where we live, the different parts of community that we value, and the groups that promote our values or provide services we think are important. Stewardship means taking care of something we value and enabling it to grow. And by your stewardship, it calls us to take responsibility and to make contribution of our time, talents, and treasure. I think I speak for my fellow Emersonians to invite you to be a part of nurturing our beloved congregation by making your annual financial pledge today, and right now would actually be amazing. I'll wait while you go to one of the computer links on screen. I don't know if it'll pop up. If it does pop up. And I will wait now while you make your pledge. You can make your pledge by going online to one of the links that's supposed to be popping up on screen, or by opening your UU member appreciation packet that you were supposed to be mailed to, that was mailed to you 3 weeks ago. You open it up, you can read through the various ways to make a pledge, and then we shall see. We are currently, I believe, last week we were at 25% of our expected pledges. This week, we're at 38 of our expected pledges turned in. Julianne and Natalie are now going to put the candy globes into our pledge-o-matic tube. Ah. Pop the top off. There we go. Hey. That is very good. We are 38% of the way there. Wonderful. All of us in the senior youth group salute you. And thanks to everyone who has pledged. Now it is up to the rest of us to do our part. Please consider giving today to support this wonderful congregation and program that continues to allow us to come together. So it is here for all of us like it was here for me and my family when we moved. And here for folks of all ages in our area who really need the reaffirming, positive, hope-filled message of Unitarian Universalism. Let's do this, Emerson. Julian, back to you for our closing words.
Thank you, Theo. Please join us for refreshments and fellowship in our fellowship room on the first floor near the back doors. Those of you in online, please stay tuned in. You will be able to go to virtual breakout rooms for fellowship time. At 11:15, our second hour activities for adults, children, and youth begin. Please see the listings in the order of service. Principles and practices are going to be in room 125. The senior youth will be hosting sermon reflections here in the sanctuary starting at 11:15. Our service is now concluded, but our connection has only begun.
Oops, I don't think we're quite done yet.
Well, okay, yeah.
What?
That told me to read that line.
I know. But what did we forget to do? Extinguish the chalice, have the closing words, but we want to say thank you, don't we? Yeah. Of course we do. Well, and it's not just our senior high religious ed class. We've got, and the ones that we see here are also, we have Anya and Anton in Houston, and love to have them every Sunday. But what about the folks that walked hand in hand with our youth to create this wonderful service? I had hoped to introduce you to all of them. Angelica Zelzer is home sick as a doggy. So if I can smile and wave and blow kisses to Angelica. But I'd also like to add, Noel Garwick, will you please stand as one of our second lead teacher in that class? Thanks, Noel. Nikki Fambro and Richard Croker, stand up, wave. They've done an amazing job in this process. It's an actual process, and just had a ton of fun doing it. You made it look like fun. Thank you so much. But we appreciate it. Guess what? Come on back up here.
Thank you, Beth.
Thanks again. Oh.
Thank you, Mrs. Beth.
Yeah.
If you'll now join me in saying our chalice extinguishing words found in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again.
Our service is now concluded, but our connection has only begun.